Today is January 27th, and our topic for the workshop today is graduation requirements and A through G requirements as well.
Good morning. I
Buenos
am the
días,
eighth grade
yo soy
counselor, David Lee.
consejero David.
I will be presenting the A through G requirements as well as the combination requirements. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay, for those of you who have joined late, we do have translation in Spanish and Korean.
Ustedes que acaban de entrar, tenemos traducciones, interpretaciones.
Okay, this is the parent workshop series, which will be held every week on Wednesday. We are focusing on A through G requirements. So A through G requirements is going to be something that you will hear over and over again, not just in middle school, but once you get into high school, as well as when you're ready to go into college, you will be hearing about A through G requirements. So what is all of this? First of all, let's focus on the three questions that is probably the three questions that you have. Why choose a specific high school? Some of you are eighth grade parents and you've been looking at different high schools and deciding which is a good high school for my child. And then the second question is, what is after high school? What are we going to do once the student graduates from high school? And most of you will say, oh, definitely he's going to go to college. And some of you may say, no, he's going to go a different path. And that's fine. It's something to consider. And right now is a great time to consider that. And number three, with all these in mind, how should our family prepare? And when we're looking at that, when we're trying to answer these questions, we're thinking about degrees and how their life's going to be, how our children's life, and it's really important to consider what is the earning, how much, what kind of field are they going to go into, and this is what the statistics show that the more degree that you have, greater degree, higher degree, definitely you're going to be paid more. Okay, that's the median weekly earning. Education level, as it goes up, the median weekly earning. This becomes really important, especially right now, right? With the economy the way that it is. So it's something to consider. What can I do? How can I prepare for it? We've given our students something called IGP, Individualized Graduation Plan. It is something that we share with our students and the family every semester. If you are an eighth grade parent, you've seen it every semester starting from sixth grade. This basically outlines what they've done, what they're doing, what they need to do. It gives you a snapshot of their history. Okay. Notice that here, this is where you're going to find the GPA on the far right. GPA, class ranking, this becomes something that you will need to be familiar with when you go to high school and when you're ready to apply to college. Then this shows the testing data. These right now currently is showing SBAC scores. Some of you may have CELT scores in there, but basically what that shows is the standardized test scores. And again, this becomes more important when the student goes to high school or when the student wants to apply to different kinds of classes, programs, and even when you're ready to even apply to college and scholarships. The standardized testing, what that does is puts everybody in the same playing field so that that the student is compared to other students in different parts of the state. So Northern California, how is my child stacking up compared to the students up there? Okay, and here's the attendance. And these are the current classes and schedules and grades. Okay, so when you will be getting another one this semester, spring semester later on, it will be emailed to the students. So Once we do that, we will notify the parents. We will post it on our website saying that it's been sent to your child. So please review it, talk to your children about it, child about it, and plan accordingly. Okay. Certificate of completion is what we're going to be awarding students at the end of 8th grade. And this is based on 8th grade only. The students can have 50 credits. It used to be 60 credits. Each class that they successfully complete with a D or better will get 5 credits. And those credits, when you add it all up, it should have been 60. But now that we have homeroom advisory, each homeroom advisory, if they successfully pass it, will be awarded 2.5 credits. So they could have up to 65 credits. You need 50 credits in order to be eligible to receive a certificate of completion. Again, D or better for passing each semester. And that is a little different with the culmination ceremony. You could get a certificate of completion, which is awarded by LAUSD, but culmination ceremony, it is something that we award at the school site for 8th graders who meet the LAUSD requirements, as well as having no fails in the most current report card. Okay. And then we look at also the U's, no more than 3 U's, and only one of them can be in cooperation. So we're looking at the most recent report card for the 8th grade activities. We will have a couple of other 8th grade activities other than the culmination ceremony, but the culmination ceremony is the biggest event for the 8th grade students. And they need to also, if there's any financial obligations to the student, they need to meet it and free from ongoing discipline issues. Okay. Again, to review, no more than 3 U's, no outstanding fines, and no ongoing discipline issues. No more than 1 U in cooperation, and 0 fails in fall and spring semester final report cards. Okay. That's the combination eligibility 3210. So going back to the A through G requirements, I mentioned that A through G requirement is something that you will be coming across more frequently. Well, it is A through G initiative that the college and college UC systems, the CSU, all of California schools, public schools have initiated, and it is the subject matters, what you need to get in order to be eligible for college. You need to have C or better for colleges for the college to accept it. But if we're only looking at the LAUSD high school diploma attainment, then it should be D or better. So let me break it down. Okay, 9th grade requirement, you will have 1 year of B subject, which is English, 1 year of C subject, which is math, and 1 additional A through G. And you need to get 50 credits in order to go on to 10th grade. And then again, 10th grade, you need to complete 105 credits in order to go on to 11th grade. And so on and so on. By the end of 12th grade, you do need to get 210 credits, and you do have to fulfill all of those A through G requirements in order to be eligible for high school diploma. So looking at this, there is a possibility a 3rd year student still being a 9th grade in credits. They will be repeating a lot of the classes and still be considered a 9th grade student, even though they're in high school for 3 years. When you think about A through G requirements, there is the A through G requirements that shows the minimum requirements for admission. You need 2 years of A, which is history, social science, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 2 years of lab science, 2 years of foreign language, 1 year of visual performing arts, and 1 year of college preparatory elective. That's a little bit different when you think about what is the requirement for graduation as required by CDE, California Department of Education. They added 1 year of government and econ and 2 years of PE. So on top of the A through G requirements that the UCs and CSUs require, the CDE requires these 2 more requirements. And then additional LAUSD, this is LAUSD's graduation requirement on top of the A through G and the CDE requirements. You do need half a year or a semester of health, service learning requirements, and career pathway selection. Okay, those are additional requirements in order for a student to be eligible for graduation and a high school diploma. Going back to the A through G requirements, 2 years of history. Remember, if you want to be eligible to apply to UCs, you need to get C or better in these. 1 year of US history, 1 year of world history. Those 2 are minimum. Okay? But in order for you to graduate from high school, you still need econ and government. English, you need 4 years of college preparatory English and literature. Okay, so all 4 years, 9 through 12. Math, you need 3 years, but 4 is recommended. UC's definitely, UCLA, they say it over and over again. Don't skip on math in your 12th grade year. You should be taking all 4 years of math. Algebra, geometry, algebra 2 is the minimum. And they do want you to get at least 1 more. Laboratory science, 2 years minimum. You need to have biology and 1 year of physical science. That could be chemistry, that could be physics. Okay. And 2 years of the same language. UC recommends again 3 years. The key word is the same language. You can't do 1 year of say, for example, you want your child does 1 year of French and says, I don't like French. I want to do Spanish. So second year, they go into Spanish 1. Even though they did 2 years of foreign language, it's still considered only 1 year. They do need to go on to Spanish 2 and Spanish 3 in order to be competitive with the UC schools. Okay. American Sign Language is acceptable. So a lot of students, because foreign language, it uses, in order to learn and to be able to use foreign language, a different language, it uses a one specific part of your brain. But they found out that American Sign Language necessarily doesn't use that. It uses a different part of the brain. So some students that are having trouble getting that second language or the third language or maybe fourth language, whatever your child may be. But if they have hard time learning new language, then American Sign Language might be a better option. We are offering American Sign Language for spring semester through LACC. So some of you have already heard about it and are signed up for it. Great. And understand that if you take it in the college, just like that, 1 semester equals to 1 year of high school foreign language. So technically, you only need 3 semesters of college level foreign language in order to meet the 3-year requirements. So that's a good way to fulfill that requirement. Visual performing arts, you do need 1 year, and that could be an example: photography, ceramics, dance, drama, music, film, art. And again, that can be fulfilled by 1 semester at the college level. So SMC, LACC, you take a semester of it, that could fulfill your 1 year. Now, I'm saying all this, however, you do need to talk to the high school that you're going to go to, because what they will do is they will take it and put it in their transcript, in the high school transcript, for the child to be eligible to graduate with a high school diploma. Although you may take it at LACC, if they do not transfer it and put it in the high school transcript, guess what? They're lacking that visual performing arts or whatever other subjects. So make sure you talk to communicate with the high school. Most of the high schools, what they will do is they will you'll have to get approval saying that we will go ahead and post it once you complete it. So go ahead and take it. And then once you get that approval, then you could take the college course and then send in the transcript, and then they will post that into the high school transcript. That's the usual way that they do it. However, if you want to still go ahead and do the college level classes, that's okay too, because at the end, what happens is you'll need to send that transcript to UCs or other schools, maybe going to Harvard or something. You will still need to get the transcript from the college, whatever college that the student went to, and send it over, regardless of whether or not it is inside the high school transcript. And then you do need a college preparatory elective. AP courses can fulfill that, as well as all the other classes. Again, business, sociology, psychology, these can be taken at the college level as well. 1 semester will fulfill that 1 year requirement. AP courses, AP stands for Advanced Placement. So AP world history is different from a world history, regular world history. So if a student takes world history in 10th grade, says, I like this subject, I want to take the AP course, and takes AP world history in 11th grade, is two different classes which will go into their transcript, and they fulfill the G requirements with the AP world history. Okay, so these again are the high school requirements, minimum course requirements that you will need to apply to Cal State or UCs. Just because you fulfilled it doesn't mean that it guarantees acceptance. Okay, remember that. Just because you got a C in those classes doesn't mean that you will be accepted to UCLA, CSUN, for example. You may have gotten all these requirements. That just means that, okay, now you're okay to actually submit your application. They will take a look at it, rank it, and based on that, they will accept some students and some not. GPA is definitely important. These are the academic marks and what that means, what each grade means, and the work habits and cooperation marks. It's on a 4.0 scale. A equals to 4, B equals to 3, C 2, D 1, and fail does not get any point. And what you will do is you will actually add up. So for example, 1 semester, Eddie gets 3 A's, 2 B's. Oh, I'm sorry, not 1 semester. It looks like a year. 1 year, Eddie gets 3 A's, 2 B's, 3 C's, and 4 D's. What you will do is you will multiply that by the 4.0 scale. So again, A, you get 4.0, right? And so you multiply that, you get 12, and so on and so on. And then you will add up all of them. You will add up the classes, you will add up the total points. And that's what the total classes look like. And that's what total points look like, right? When you add all them up. Then after that, you will divide total points over the classes, and you will get the 2.3 GPA. That's the GPA for Eddie for that year. Okay. So what if Kathy has 11 A's and 1 B in 1 year? If you have a paper and pencil, go ahead. Or if you could do mental math, that's great. Or you could also use your phone. Try to calculate that. I'll give you about a minute. Okay, remember to add them and divide the total number of points by the total number of classes. Okay, so you should have gotten, again, 12 semester, a year, you're gonna get 12 classes. And those are the total points. And so for Kathy, it's a 3.9 GPA for that year. If you have multiple years, you just add up all the classes, multiply that by the 4.0 scale, the points that they will get according to the grades, and then divide it by all the classes that you've added. And GPA really does matter. 2.0 is a C average. In order for any student to be eligible for various clubs, programs, sports, you do need to have 2.0 or better. So maybe your child is good at basketball and says, I'm going to play basketball when I go to high school. Well, if the student does not maintain a 2.0 GPA, guess what? That student is not going to be playing sports. And it's a great motivator, right? Get your grades up so that you can play. You want to have 3.8 to 4.0 to be very competitive, right? And yes, what you do right now, it's not going to translate into high school. However, get them motivated. Once you go into high school, those grades really do, each classes matter, and they will be applied to the GPA that they will submit to various colleges, various universities. And GPA, higher GPA, will make them eligible for not just the universities that they want to attend to, but also programs, as well as scholarships. A D is not passing. D will get you, it's passing for LAUSD graduation requirements, but D is not passing as seen by UCs and CSUs and many of the other colleges. Okay, having said that, I know that GPA seems to be something that everybody focuses on, but this winter break, what I had to do was I had to write a lot of recommendation letters for various students who were applying to private schools. And so they had asked me to write recommendations, and I said, okay, great. Tell me about yourself. Brag about yourself. And a lot of the students, they're somewhere good about writing all the accomplishments, what they've done in school as well as out of school. But there were some students that didn't know what to write. It says, oh, I have a good GPA. I'm in this class, these classes, I'm in band, things like that. And that was it. Understand that UC, they look at 14 different factors. So GPA, people put a lot of emphasis on GPA and test scores like SATs, but those two are only 2 out of 14 things that they look at. That's why you hear a lot of students get accepted to, for example, they get accepted to Berkeley, but they get rejected to UCLA and San Diego because they might be good in one thing and they may be looking at certain factors, but yet they don't have a great strong portfolio when they're looking at the other things. Like other things matter too. What are some special talents, achievements, awards? What are you doing? Are you doing any outside services, projects? Where do you live? And so consider all of these things when you are thinking about UC, for example, UCLA, because this is the UC comprehensive review factors. But at the same time, having said that, GPA does matter in some sense because you know that a lot of the UCs, they will print it and they will publicize how the average GPA of their incoming freshmen is such and such. And you know that it is a very competitive. GPA also can make a student be eligible for eligibility in local context. What that means is UC decided, hey, you know what? Let's make it fair for students from all different parts of California. If your child belongs in the top 9% of the high school that they're going to, then they are guaranteed a spot in one of the UC campuses. That doesn't mean that they'll be accepted to UCLA. They could be accepted to UC Riverside, UC Irvine, or somewhere, but they will have a seat at one of the UCs. They put it out there. So so some parents are being very smart about, hey, I'm not my child. If they go into a very competitive high school, they will not get into the top 9%. Let me send them to a different school. And that's up to you. So these are some of the things to think about as you're considering colleges, as you're considering high schools. What are some other things to consider? Well, the SAT, ACT, I did mention it. I know that in the news, they are saying that UCs are getting rid of SATs and CSUs, and a lot of the college private schools have already done that. That it's been something that was talked about for 20 years. Until it really does materialize, we don't know, and we don't know if something else will take its place. But standardized tests, what that does, again, it puts everybody in the same playing field to be able to weigh, how does this student, just because you got an A in one school, you know that one school's A does not translate to A in another school where it's a little bit higher. It's a higher performing school. So what they do is they will give standardized tests to put them on the same playing field. Think about honors and advanced placement classes. They will get you an extra point. So that's why you see some students will get 4.2 GPA. And you go, how can you get a 4.2 GPA? Well, through honors and advanced placement classes. Those will give you an extra point. And also if you at the end of advanced placement classes, at the end of it in May, they give a AP test. And what that does is if you pass it with a 3 or better, it's on a 5-point scale. 3, 4, 5 means that they passed that class. They have mastered the subject matter and they will get the college credit for it. So for example, if they pass the AP World History with a 3, then what the college will see it as they've mastered that. You don't need to take that class when you come to college. So it's a great way to jumpstart on your child's college life. Okay, so some students having taken enough advanced placement classes, as well as taking some college courses during summer and at night, some students have enough credits, college credits, to go in as a junior, a third year school student when they get accepted to college. Some students, you hear it all the time in the news that they get an AA degree um, when they graduated from high school. So uh, during their high school graduation, they've already gotten their AA degree. Or some students, once in a while, you will hear in the news that they get their bachelor's degree at the same time that they get their high school. It's very rare, but it's possible. You could get many credits. It saves you money too, because AP class, the tests are much cheaper than actually taking that class when you go to college. And you know that the community colleges, they will not charge any students. Uh, up until 12th grade, the students will not be charged any fees for the classes. Again, as I mentioned, extracurricular activities have the students take on different kinds of activities, whether it be volunteering um, at hospitals. I know right now it's not the best time to be talking about that, but there are other activities that they could be involved in. Getting them be in a leadership position is also helpful. Scholarships, there are some scholarships that are available even now. Students can get scholarships in middle school, so think about that, take a look at it. And I know that I've come across a couple of our students who've already received a couple of $1,000s for their colleges. Community service, I mentioned that. Research, visit colleges. Now is a great time because a lot of the colleges have put up virtual tours. And so it's a great opportunity for you to explore colleges with your children. And a lot of these colleges, you could do a sorting where if your child likes smaller colleges, liberal arts colleges, maybe you could put that in the search field. If the child wants maybe just all girls or all boys college, that's something that you could think about. Is it in the city or the suburb? Ratio, teacher to student ratio, you could all put that in there and be able to narrow down on some of the colleges that may be an option for your child. Okay, and start building up college portfolio, achievements, awards, letter of recommendations from your teachers, work samples, college essays. Start working on what am I going to write about, and look at some of those prompts. It's out there. Okay, these are the contexts. I did focus on combination and colleges and high school, and because again I'm the eighth grade counselor, and I've been dealing with it a lot this year. But I know that seventh grade parents and sixth grade parents is something that is not too far off for you too. Please speak to your counselor. These are the contact information. Okay. Is there any questions in the chat that I could answer?
So we have parent is asking if the program that the students attend to in middle school, like magnet and the gifted, does it count as credit for high school or the universities? That's question number one.
Okay, the magnet programs, magnet programs are great in that they do focus, like for example, when you go to high school, a lot of the magnet programs are going to be geared towards subjects. Okay, there are some magnet programs that are gifted, but there are also magnets programs that are geared towards subject matter. Like for example, Bernstein High School has a film, is a film magnet. Fairfax has Police Academy as well as visual performing arts. So if your child likes and wants to pursue that field when they go to not just high school but also in college, then that's something to think about. In terms of whether or not is it looked by the university, yes and no. It depends on the program. Some programs definitely will like the fact that, for example, again, I mentioned uh, um, Fairfax, but also there is the Los Angeles High School for the Arts on the campus of Cal State LA, which is it's a great program if a student wants to go into arts, whether it be drawing, dance, music. So that definitely will be much more looked at by colleges that want those kind of students. So, okay.
Another question is, where can parents find information regarding virtual tours for colleges and universities?
You could go to their website. Each school should have something there. One bad thing about the current state is that every year Pasadena puts on this big, huge college fair, and a lot of colleges come. And they do it for a couple of days, and so it's a great opportunity for parents to go with their children at the Pasadena Convention Center. It, they are doing it now too, but it's virtual. So that's if I get more information, I will share it with you. I will post it in our website and um, but there are our college fairs, college each college will put up something too. And another great thing for you to do with your children is to actually have your children write to the colleges. They love that. Write to them, email them saying, I am interested, can you help me? And the college counselors at the college level will try to communicate with them and even send some material. Okay.
Another question is, when will the students receive their IGP via email?
It will be sometime in the spring semester. We will have to wait until the grades come out. Most likely, I want to say sometime in March.
So we have a question, that was another question that's asking, for specific high schools, how would they select which high school for their child to attend, or how would they find information about a specific high school?
I will first say go to enroll.lasd.net first and look at this. Look at some of the schools that are featured there. The magnet programs. Take a look at the magnet programs. Go to the websites, the different websites. And I know that some parents, they are really your child to go to certain colleges, a very high performing universities, right? So how do you choose them? What are some of the high schools should you look at? Well, think about AP passing rates. Okay, how many students are taking AP tests? How many students are actually passing that test? And you could search for it. Okay, take a look at demographics. Take a look at the test scores. What are their test scores? Okay, those are some of the and go to their go. They will have virtual tours. They will have different meetings. They want to also publicize it. So take a look at it. I can't say that one school is better than the other because every student is different, and you know your child. So talk to your children, go different websites, speak to the counselors, see if there's any way that you could get more information straight from the schools themselves.
So thank you very much, parents, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you.